Hello, I'm so happy to be here today. My name is Allegra Jaros and I'm the president of our Oishei Children's Hospital. And I'm so thankful to Explore More for inviting me here today for their Home for Heroes reading session. At our own Explore More here in Buffalo, we have a miniature version of our children's hospital. I hope you all get a chance to see it and to play with all the fun tools and equipment that we get to use here at Oishei Children's Hospital every day to care for our community's kids. This is a hospital made just for you and your friends. I hope you don't have to visit us anytime soon, but if you do, we are here to care for you. Today, I'm going to be reading to you one of my favorite books growing up. It's called The Sneetches by Dr. Seuss. Do you know it? Well, now you're going to get to hear this funny story about how people behave and what it really means. The Sneetches. Now, the star-bellied Sneetches had bellies with stars. Let's see it. The plain-bellied Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big, they were really so small. You might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the star-bellied Sneetches would brag, "We're the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches." With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. Will have nothing to do with that plain belly sort. And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them without even talking. When the star-belly children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? No, not at all. You could only play if your bellies had stars, and the plain-bellied children had none upon theirs. When the star-bellied Sneetches had Frankfurter roasts, or picnics, or parties, or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain-bellied Sneetches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. Terrible. Then one day, it seems, while the plain-bellied Sneetches were moping and doping along on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean. And I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you, I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at a great speed. And my work is 100% guaranteed." Then quickly, Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine. And he said, "You want stars like the star-bellied Sneetches? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop in right aboard." So they clambered inside, then the big machine roared. And it clunked, and it bonked, and it jerked, and it burked, and it bopped them about, but the thing really worked. When the plain-bellied Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. When they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start, "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're just the same now, you snooty old smarties, and now we can go to your Frankfurter parties." "Good grief," groaned the ones who had stars at the first. "We're still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst. But now, how in the world will we know?" They all frowned, if which kind is what, or the other way around. Then up came McBean with a very sly wink, and he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who? That's perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on the beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 each. "Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars so you won't look like the Sneetches who have them on theirs. And then that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Then with snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks, and they let out a shout, "We know who's who. Now there isn't a doubt, the best kind of Sneetches are Sneetches without." Then of course those with stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then of course old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star-off machine. Then of course from then on, you probably guessed, things got into a horrible mess. All the rest of that day and on those wild screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again, through the machine they raced round and about again. Changing their stars every minute or two, they kept paying money, they kept running through, until neither the plane nor the star belly knew whether this one was that one, or that one was this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who. Then when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went, and he laughed as he drove in a car up the beach. They never will learn when you can't teach a Sneetch. But McBean was quite wrong. I'm quite happy to say that the Sneetches got really smart on that day. The day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches, that day all the Sneetches forgot about stars and whether they had one or not upon Mars. I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope that you all enjoy this rest of 2020 and are safe and happy at home.